In here. Well, after an opening weekend win in Rome, Italy travelled to face an Ireland side who finds himself reeling after a disappointing loss in France. Sarah Orchard, she watches one for us.
Holly Davidson of Scotland, the first woman to take charge of a men's Six Nations game. Not her first rodeo, though, taking care of plenty of tests at the top level. Led down by Zuliani. Quite the coming-of-age season, but he's not that one on. Casey, Doris, Prendergast. Just slightly juggle with the ball. Oh, liner, knocked it on.
Deliberate. Yep. Tee him up. Yep. So live, we have a penalty. We're just seeing if there is a line break opportunity.
Just trying to decide.
Thank you.
If this is a yellow card or a penalty.
It's a clear line break opportunity, deliberate knock on, yellow card.
And it is a yellow card for Lewis Liner. Well, Ringrose just trying to second-guess that Italian defensive line. Back inside, Ryan. Prendergast pushing the edges. Conan can't get that last pass away to Balakoon. Doris gives it to the big man, Clarkson. The Irish crowd want something here. Too long now in this 22 to come away with nothing, and it's Osborne! Jamie Osborne. He finally found the line and broke that Italian defence, which has been absolutely ferocious. Prendergast there to Ringrose, and that nice little spin by McCluskey. Nice pass off his knee on the floor. And Osborne finishes the job. Nicotera for the Italians. Zambonin has it once again. Comes back and away. Flat pass, taken this time by Menoncella. They go back towards that tight side, thinking they can bust some holes through with Canone. Fischetti is appealing for it. Look at where the Italians are. They want more than points. It's Ferrari who knocks on. Balakoon with the clearance. Ioane just took his eye off the ball slightly there. Garbisi there. Does so well to get that one away. Nice touch through with the left boot. And Italy will take that. Nice from Pani.
Time off. Yes, TMO check. We're looking at foul play by Ireland 9.
Okay, so we're looking at Craig Casey here.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. We do have head contact. It is foul play because number 9 is upright. So it meets the yellow card threshold, and off-field review. We do have foul play. It meets the yellow card threshold, so a yellow card and off-field review.
Ireland reduced to 14 for the first time in this fixture. Italy have already been in this situation, and that one's got a review. I mean, Craig Casey, you can see what he took to the face in that yellow card. Italy an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in this fixture with a score. Any score will do. And the blue shirts of Italy are coaxing themselves forward. A bit of ballast added there by Marin, and they think they can push this one over. It's still going. That's a try. Italy take the lead in Dublin as Nicotera, the Stade Francais hooker, goes over. Once again, it's Zambonin who has taken endless line-out ball all day long, and they just pile the numbers into this maul, and they get the reward. Sheehan with the ball. Really tight short at the front to Loughman. Not interested in putting any men on the air. Ryan, Conan. A try at this point would level Izuchukwu. Holsterman can't quite get over, gives it to the Munsterman. Centimetres for Ireland left to travel. Doris wants it. Calmly waits. Try. Conan finishes the job, and Ireland level. Cleanly taken at the front there by Loughman. This was the final push there with the two-time British and Irish Lion, Conan. Down the line again, pushing towards the edges.
On your feet, please, on your feet.
They just keep being caught there in that midfield, but that's the break from Menoncello. Is this the opportunity for Italy? Pass that wide to Liner. He's got space. Bellissima. Italy so patient and took their opportunity, and Liner scores again in the Six Nations. But will they check this?
Inside the 22.
Okay, so on-field decision is try. You're going to show me a forward pass.
This is cleanly forwards out of the hands by 13.
Well, they're saying that
Okay,
is
it's gonna be
forward.
no try.
Dublin breathes a sigh of relief. Forward pass between Menoncello and Liner. Loughman. Osborne. Pushed out wide. Ringrose. Izuchukwu. Using every inch there of the 6'7" frame. Byrne. There is a calmness about this Ireland side. Advantage to Ireland as well. Balakoon. Still Balakoon! On Six Nations debut and scoring. All of a sudden, Ireland looked like a side transformed. Balakoon, he did have an option outside him, but he backed himself. Gets their third try. This is the first time in this fixture that Ireland have looked comfortable. The bench is making a difference. Huge line out for the Italians with the clock working against them. A score now. What it would mean. There's the little kick over the top. Who's chasing? Can't get into the hands of Menoncello. Has it been knocked on? Lowe has it. Osborne absolutely thrown to the ground.
First knock on is by Blue.
Oh, just imagine if the bounce of the rugby ball had gone to Menoncello there, the shockwaves that it would have sent around the Six Nations. The clock in the red. The next time the ball goes dead, that is the match. Favoretto, Garbisi, big tackle. Pani has it, and we've got an advantage. Knock on by Ireland.
Use it.
A knock-on isn't enough, though, unless it's a penalty. A forced knock-on. Play continues. How long have Italy kept this going? Scrapping for the draw. Ireland desperate for their first win of this Six Nations campaign. Garbisi. Pani on his own. They are going backwards a bit here, Italy. Ioane. He's given the ball to Lowe. James Lowe on his own. Shrugs off the first two tacklers. Eventually, he's dragged down. If Ireland score here, it's a bonus point try. They'll keep going. To Ireland, so that is the game. This was the moment. Monty Ioane was just running away from all of the support. James Lowe, with all of his experience, just making it safe. Full time, Ireland 20, Italy 13.
If you told me before this game or before these Six Nations that after the Ireland game, I would be a bit frustrated because we were close to at least a draw. I will be happy for it. So, no, I'm super proud of the guys. We did a really good first half. In second half, we had a bit of trouble to have possession. We did a bit of mistakes, but I think we were there. We had that little move we prepared with a little chip. The bounce was 1 meter to the left or to the right. Maybe we score and we are almost celebrating a draw.
Well, it was a hell of a test match, really. Obviously, from our side of things, there's things that we obviously need to address as far as errors and getting better. But the story of the match for me is we showed unbelievable character to come through that match against a very good Italian side, and they don't go away like they used to do. That's for sure. Unbelievably proud of the fighting spirit. Again, the Italians, the possession and the territory that they had there in the last 10-15 minutes. They were knocking the door down, weren't they, constantly? But we stood strong, and this group showed a lot of character today, so it's going to stand to us in the future, that's for sure.
Another cracking game, a real good competition. Ireland will be thrilled that they won, but surely Italy will be kicking themselves for the amount of missed opportunities they had, actually.
Yeah, I think it would have been a long 10 days for Ireland since that loss in France,
yeah.
So he'll be happy that they managed to get the win, but I think that's probably as far as it goes for Ireland. Italy missed so many opportunities, really, that, I don't know, even in the interview there, you could tell they're just happy to be competing still, which, when you've got this many chances, as we see, Menachel, this is the forward pass, which is fine margins. If this was last Thursday in the Ireland-France game, these passes were OK and we were getting on with the game, really. So I don't really see what's changed in a week, but we're talking 3, 4, 5 opportunities, bounce of a ball. Oh. They would have won, and I want to see Italy going, no, you know what, we've progressed. We need to be not being happy and just being in the game. And this is inside the 22. They had a lot of time, a lot of chances, a lot of time spent inside Ireland's 22. I mean, fair play to Ireland for putting a stop to it, and Andy Farrell would be really happy with that defence, but you've got to feel Italy should be converting some of these opportunities in the 22. It was the worst conversion rate under the Italian coach. So I think they've got to, although they're happy, they've got to be annoyed that they didn't manage to get a win there against Ireland.
They have moved on from there because they're creating so much more, but just not quite converting that. We look at that massive amount of disappointment, but I guess there are numbers, there is evidence to see that Italy are certainly getting so much better, aren't they?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's patronising to talk about. I was kind of surprised by Gonzalo Casala's comment there about, if you said to me at week 0 before the first game that we'd be going to Ireland and we'd have the points that they've got on the table and disappointed to almost not get that draw, I think they'll look back at that game and think, we should have won that game, and Ash has talked about it. But the signs are positive for it. I look at probably the identity they had in the early noughties, forward-orientated, very strong set piece, probably under Kieran Crowley, a bit more expansive. I think they've got a far more rounded game now, and the stats back it up from an attacking and defensive perspective. Line breaks have been going in the right direction. The carries committing 2+ tackles is really important, because that means you're actually stressing a defence. You're not just running at them and letting them tackle you. Defence is improving with 26 dominant tackles. We saw that over in Rome, certainly with Scotland. And the scrum, I mean, we're going to have a look at some of the scrums. My word.
The scrum is silly, something we often talk about with the Springboks, but we have to pay respect to Italy. You've really enjoyed putting this together, haven't
you? This was a team effort, just to be clear. Look, you don't often see, and we saw this last week in Rome, and I thought, wow, how good has the scrum got on? But they gave South Africa a tough time in the autumns. You do not see international Tier 1 scrums getting lifted off the ground.
This
is Tadhg Furlong, 3-time British and Irish Lion. And look, that is not what you want to be seeing in a scrum debrief on a Monday morning. That Italian debrief, forwards debrief, they will be sipping away on espressos and having a lovely old time watching that back. There is no work-ons for their scrum. Their scrum, and I look at that scrum and think, they are going to dismantle scrums in this championship.
They absolutely enjoying life at the scrum. For Ireland, some headaches. They got the win, which is absolutely brilliant. They come to Allianz Stadium next week. The debate, Sam Prendergast or Jack Crowley, is raging on. Comparatively, when you look at them and their stats, which way are you going, gents?
It's hard, isn't it, when you look at the stats? Because you look at, everyone's looking at Sam Prendergast versus Crowley and thinking, and the criticism of Prendergast at the moment is his defence, and you can see that in his tackle success. There's no getting away from that. But actually, when you look at their attacking stats, you can see they're broadly similar. People are saying, oh, well, Crowley's coming on, he's making a huge difference to the attack. He definitely made a difference at the weekend, but he also had Gibson Parker came on roughly at the same time. So I think you can see these stats. You're looking at the tackle evasion, looking at break assisting passes. Place kick succession is obviously very similar. There's not much between them, and it's probably a case of, do you stick with Prendergast, you stick with the guy that you think is going to get you to where you want to be, or do you look at Crowley, there's a lot of lobbying in Ireland to say he has to play, but the stats don't necessarily back it up.
Aisling?
Well, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because they're so similar. Crawley had a massive impact, and it was interesting that Andy Farrell singled him out after the game, maybe leaning towards him getting more game time, which he probably deserves. Club form and previous, what he's done for Ireland, he's done a really good job. Some man of the matches to performances in there. With Prendergast, I think the thing is we're not seeing is you can see he's heavily involved in the attack and how he's like Johnny Sexton-esque, how he wants to play the game, which is great. It's the other areas, some stray kicks. He was missing easy kicks at goal, and it's his tackling. If you could see his defensive stats lifting and going and getting better week on week, then maybe you could fight the case a little bit more. That isn't necessarily the case. And what you're going to get at these level of rugby, people are going to target and they're going to chase and chase. As we see Scotland did a little bit on George Ford too, that's going to start happening more and more. And you want as least targets as possible in your team. So I think Crowley might be the one to run out at Allianz Stadium.
Where are Ireland 2 matches into this off the back of the autumn, heading down to Twickenham this weekend?
Well, they made a few changes for the game against Italy. So maybe they've got a lot of injuries, which is not ideal. And you sense that Andy Farrell's just looking to build on week-to-week performances, taking the good, trying to remove the bad as much as he possibly can within a week. It's hard for Ireland right now. They're in a funny place, and it's a very compressed environment in Ireland. Everyone's on top of you. They want a lot out of the rugby, and they want success all the time. It's going to be hard going to Allianz Stadium. It is. It's on the back of that England result. What a game we're in for.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think we've become so accustomed to Ireland being so dominant and seeing the way they impose their game on opposition teams from an attack point of view, especially. We're used to them being the pioneers in terms of how the game should be played, what's the evolution, what's the tweaks they're making, how are they going to stress defences. And on the evidence of the last 2 weeks, we haven't probably seen that. But I think Ash is right. We've seen Andy Farrell make some changes. It's not necessarily the same team that we've probably seen over the last couple of championships. So is there a case to say, well, they're bringing some guys in? Rob Balakoon came in and played very well, scored a brilliant try. But they're just not quite, they just don't quite seem to be there. But I also know with this Irish team, you don't write them off.
Yeah.
They've got so much experience. They've got so many British and Irish lines there. They've got the British and Irish lines coach. They've got experience, and it's probably just small tweaks that are missing at the moment.
Exactly. All roads lead to Allianz for Ireland next weekend. But for us, we end up in Cardiff, where a beleaguered Wales side